The Drew Brees era is over, and now the quest to find his replacement is a battle between two guys already with the team. Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, they both took snaps at Saints mandatory minicamp on Tuesday. Head coach Sean Payton said after practice they're working together, organizing the throwing sessions. I've talked before about the leadership in that room, and I think they're doing really good with that job. All right, when it comes to the quarterback depth chart, I'm explaining deeper than the years of experience because Hill, more of a Swiss Army knife, right? So Winston, starter in 70 of his 76 games that he's played in. Hill only started 4 games in 2020, filling in for an injured Drew Brees. But let's hear from Jameis on his relationship with Taysom.
We have the same mentality. Our main focus is to win and to be our best selves. And I think that's what I respect about Taysom because he is a man that can do so many great things for this team. He has done so many great things for this organization since he's been here. So just trying to find ways to serve him and work with him is going to make both of us better in terms of leading our teammates and working with them as well.
So, Jason, we're talking about life after Brees, right? My question, I guess, to you is we know that this is going to be a quarterback battle, one of the more high-profile ones in the league. How beneficial, though, would it be for Sean Payton to decide this thing sooner rather than later?
You know, I don't know that that's a huge factor one way or the other. You know, you talk about Sean Payton. He certainly has the ability to adapt and adjust his offense from week to week. They've missed a lot of time with Drew Brees, right? He went from being a guy that played every single snap to a guy who the last couple of years, is he going to be out 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? And they obviously had plan B, plan C, plan D. Taysom Hill's a jack of all trades. You can use him in different ways. And they got a year of Jameis Winston getting to play some, but also just getting to absorb that system. I can tell you this. They really prize what Taysom Hill gives them on special teams. And this is a ball club that might not be as prolific offensively as it's been in some recent years. And maybe the defense isn't as good as it was a couple of years ago as well. The margins are slim, and if you think you can gain an advantage on special teams by having one of your core special teams guy available to as many units as possible, that's going to play a role in this decision-making process. And it would not surprise me. Look, they're not even doing much at OTAs, right? It's basically they're hanging out. They're not doing a lot on the field. This isn't going to be settled until the summer. But the idea of Jameis Winston as the primary quarterback, packages for Taysom Hill continuing to be involved in as many special teams units as possible, it would not shock me if that's how this goes down. They brought Jameis Winston back for a reason. They like the big arm, the ability to push the ball downfield, things that did not happen with Drew Brees there, and that's also not necessarily Taysom Hill's strength.
All right, so that's Drew Brees. Of course, his career is now over. It's going to be soon for Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, right? Entering his 18th season. We know Dwayne Haskins there, and obviously Mason Rudolph. Mason got extended, and really the only quarterback under contract in 2022. Before we hear from you in just a little bit, let's hear from Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I think that's my goal, is to be a starting quarterback in this league and for our team, and I'm working towards that goal every single day. And I can only control myself and the way I prepare and the way I approach and play in OTAs and in camp. And that's on the forefront of my mind. You know, I'm not worried about 22 or anything like that. I'm trying to live in the moment and be the best I can for my team.
All right, Jason. So he's thinking big picture. What's the situation in Pittsburgh right now?
Well, look, Ben Roethlisberger is going to be their starting quarterback to open the season, barring injury. He took a pay cut, but they're still giving him way more money than any other quarterback there to try to play the position, and they're obviously trying to keep this window open, specifically with Ben, and now they believe they'll have a better running game, be more balanced. You'd like to have somebody, to your point, though, Tommy, at that position under contract beyond this year. It's not a sizable financial commitment to Mason Rudolph, and that is a draft selection that the Steelers would like to see bear some fruit. But they're changing philosophically offensively now, and I don't think the quarterback of the future is necessarily on that roster right now. You look at Matt Canada, their new offensive coordinator, and what he did in the college game, where he came from. Honestly, I think the guy who probably fits what they want to do the most in Canada's heart is probably Josh Dobbs, who they brought back for a reason. I just think this is a team that will be dipping into the college ranks sooner rather than later to try to find somebody who fits the skill set, who fits the profile of the modern quarterback in terms of the athleticism, the ability to move the pocket, the pluses that he can provide in the run game and the pass game because of that mobility, because of that athleticism.
All right, let's keep it with a quarterback theme and end in Detroit, where we know, of course, the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford trade with those two quarterbacks switching sides. He was talked about and asked about being kind of empowered there in Detroit. And here's what he had to say.
Dan and Alen have really empowered me to kind of, what do I want? What do I like? How do I want to see it? How do we want to do things? And are constantly bouncing things off me, and I'm constantly bouncing things off them. And I think that's been a healthy relationship and something that's been fun for me to experience and be a part of, guys that, are really, wanting to hear from me and wanting to hear what I like.
Caught a quick chuckle there, Jason. I guess on one hand, he has less pressure, is feeling empowered. On the other hand, his team's not as good as the one that he left in L.A.
He's also not with Sean McVay anymore, whose ability to scheme people open and to throw, so many confusing concepts and looks, and just the ability to think one step ahead of a lot of defensive coordinators. He's going to a brand new staff, guys in many parts in the front office and the coaching staff who haven't done it before. He doesn't have that same cast around him. Now, I sort of get what he's getting at there. There was definitely a sense around the league that he was a human joystick, and Sean McVay was in his ear to the last second, and boy, they really tried to do everything for him but throw the ball. But that was for a reason, and they wanted to play in the playoffs a runaround guy nobody had ever heard of instead of their $30 million quarterback for a reason. They thought it gave him a better chance to win. I think McVay and Stafford will do some special stuff out west. I don't know that Jared Goff's going to be their starting quarterback next year.
All right, that's a look at the quarterback situations around the league with our insider, Jason La Canfora. Jason, appreciate it as always.
Yep.
Check out the Pick Six podcast. They're talking about most improved teams in the offseason. 3 favorites from the host, Will Brinson, the Super Friends, Ryan Wilson, and John Breach. Make sure you download and follow the NFL Daily Podcast that is the Pick Six Pod.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.